Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt that, despite all your efforts, you always seem to be in the same place? No matter how hard you try, how much you fight, how dedicated you are, something invisible seems to be pulling you back, as if it's blocking your growth, your evolution. As if there's a barrier, an invisible wall between you and everything you want to achieve. What if I told you that this barrier isn't outside? That it's not the world, the circumstances, or the people around you holding you back? The true force that ties you down comes from within. It's in the habits you cultivate without even noticing. Small behaviors, unconscious routines that are slowly draining your energy, sabotaging your dreams. That's right. It's your habits that are silently making you weak. But here's what you need to know. You have the power to change this. The power to cut these habits from your life, to free the strength that already exists inside of you. True transformation begins when you have the courage to recognize what is holding you back. When you confront, head-on, what has kept you weak until now. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Together, we will identify the 7 habits that are making you weak, and more importantly, how to eliminate them from your life. From now on, you'll have the power to decide your own destiny, but only if you're willing to act, to take the first step. If you are truly committed to your own growth, to your evolution, then start now. Press the subscribe button, because that's the first sign that you're ready for change. Change waits for no one. It starts when you decide to act. Subscribe and join us on this journey of transformation. In the comments, write the word strength. By doing so, you will be declaring your commitment to change, and use this word as a symbol that you are ready to eliminate what weakens you, that you're ready to take back control of your life, your strength. This is your moment, the moment to abandon what makes you weak and embrace the strength that already exists inside you. Let's begin this journey now. Let's go. 1. The habit of self-pity. The first habit that is draining your strength, the one that subtly weakens you, is self-pity. And, maybe without realizing it, you are trapped in this dangerous cycle. How many times have you found yourself in a difficult situation and asked, "Why is this happening to me?" How many times have you felt like the world was conspiring against you? Like everything and everyone was making your life harder? It's easy to fall into this trap. Easy to see yourself as a victim of circumstances. And this is where weakness starts to settle in. But I want you to understand something fundamental. When you give in to self-pity, when you allow your mind to stay stuck in this cycle of "why me?", you are in fact giving up your power. You are relinquishing control over your own life. Stoicism teaches us that life is unpredictable, full of challenges and adversity. No one can escape that. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Roman emperors and Stoic philosophers, said, "It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to what happens." If you live your life lamenting your difficulties, you are silently becoming weaker each day. Make no mistake, self-pity will not pull you out of the depths. In fact, it will drag you even deeper. And the most dangerous part? Self-pity has an addictive power. It makes you believe that feeling sorry for yourself is a way to find comfort. But that comfort is false, temporary, and incredibly destructive. Because the more you allow yourself to be a victim, the further away you move from the solution. Do you want to know the truth? Self-pity has never helped anyone overcome challenges. Never. Think of anyone you admire, any great leader, warrior, or even someone close to you who has overcome great battles in life. Ask yourself, did these people get where they are by playing the victim? Or was it the opposite? They faced every adversity with their heads held high, believing in their own ability to overcome. And that's exactly what you need to do too. From now on, I want you to change your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask yourself, "What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this situation?" Life is a constant training ground. Every obstacle, every difficulty, every pain is an opportunity to become stronger. It's in the fire of adversity that true character is forged. But this is only possible when you abandon the habit of victimization. As long as you continue to ask why life is so hard, you will never have enough energy to transform it. Stoicism teaches us that control is in our hands. Yes, you may not control the circumstances around you, but you will always have control over your attitude. Always. And it is this attitude that defines whether you will rise stronger or remain trapped in the cycle of self-pity. Think about it. Every time you complain about a situation, you are actually wasting time. Time that could be invested in solutions. Every time you lament what went wrong, you are wasting the chance to learn from the mistake and grow stronger for the future. The strongest people, the ones who truly achieve their goals, are those who turn every obstacle into a stepping stone to success. While most people see the problem as the end, the true Stoic sees the problem as a new beginning. The power is in your hands. It's in your mind. But first, you must stop seeing yourself as a victim. You need to understand that the world will not adapt to your expectations. Life will not be easy. And do you know what? That's wonderful. Because every difficulty that comes your way is a chance to prove yourself stronger, more resilient, more deserving of your dreams. Abandon self-pity. Stop seeing yourself as a victim. True strength is born the moment you take full responsibility for who you are and who you can become. The world won't stop for your complaints, but you can choose to move forward, stronger, more determined, not as a victim, but as a true Stoic. The power is in your hands. Use it. 2. Complacency. After all, who doesn't like feeling comfortable? At first, it seems harmless. You achieve a small victory, and suddenly, you settle in. You feel satisfied, and little by little, almost without realizing it, you start accepting less than you deserve. You accept a mediocre life. You accept doing the bare minimum. And do you know what's worse? You begin to give up on your own greatness. But I'm going to tell you a truth that might sting a little. If you're satisfied with the minimum, if you're comfortable with where you are now, you're betraying the strongest version of yourself. Think about that. You could be more. You could do more. But instead, you choose the comfort zone. And it's in that zone where dreams die. Complacency is the enemy of greatness. It makes you believe that good is good enough, that it's not worth the effort to go beyond. But the Stoics, they had a different vision. They believed that excellence isn't a state you arrive at, but a daily choice. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, said, "Stop arguing about what it means to be a good man. Be one." This means that excellence is within our reach every day, but it requires action, effort, and, above all, the refusal to settle. Look around you. Look at your life. Are you where you want to be? Are you who you dreamed of becoming? If the answer is no, then complacency has already taken hold of you. But here's the good news. You can change that. All you need to do is decide that good is not good enough. That the version of yourself today is not the final version. That you are capable of more. The Stoics teach us to live life like a warrior, always striving to be better. Every day is a new opportunity to overcome yourself, to fight against complacency. No matter how comfortable your life is now, you need to fight it. Because true strength lies in refusing to accept stagnation, in rejecting mediocrity. Life is far too short for you to live only a fraction of your potential. Do you feel that discomfort when you push yourself a little harder? When you step outside your comfort zone? That discomfort is the signal that you are on the right path, the path of growth. If you feel comfortable for too long, it's because you've stopped growing. And when you stop growing, you weaken. So ask yourself now, where are you settling? In what part of your life have you accepted comfort over excellence? Is it in your work, in your relationships, in your personal development? If you can identify where you're settling, you've already taken the first step to change. The next step? Act. Don't settle for what's easy. The easy path is for the weak. The strong seek the difficult, the challenging, the path that brings growth. Remember, excellence is a daily choice. It's not something you achieve and then you're done. It's something you fight for every single day. Every morning, you have the opportunity to choose. Will you remain comfortable and complacent, or will you challenge yourself and grow? The Stoics teach us that true greatness comes from discipline, dedication, and the relentless will to be better than yesterday. Don't let complacency weaken you. Refuse to accept less than you deserve. Life is too short to live it halfway. Wake up every day determined to be better, to do more. Because in the end, the only person who can truly stop you from being great is you. 3. The fear of judgment. The fear of judgment is an invisible prison that traps even the strongest. A wall you build around yourself, brick by brick, fueled by the anxiety of not pleasing others, of not meeting their expectations. This habit, this fear, corrodes your soul, consumes your energy, and weakens you with every choice you don't make. When your life is defined by the opinions of others, you become a prisoner of something you can never control. Other people's thoughts. What do others really know about you? What do they understand about your dreams, your struggles, your desires? Nothing. And yet, you live as if every look, every word of judgment is a final sentence on who you are or who you can be. You hand over your power, your strength to people who aren't really paying attention to you. And here's the painful truth. Many of those whose judgment you fear aren't even focused on you. They're too busy dealing with their own fears and insecurities. You need to free yourself from this prison. If there's something Stoicism teaches us, it's that the opinion of others is irrelevant. What others think about you, your choices, your path, none of that matters. What truly matters is your character, your actions, your intentions. What truly defines you isn't what they say behind your back, but what you do when no one is watching. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic emperors and philosophers, said, "The opinion of others is the most unstable thing in life." He knew that relying on others' judgment is like handing over your destiny to the wind. How many times have you abandoned your dreams out of fear of criticism? How many opportunities have you turned down because you were afraid of failing in front of others? How many words have you swallowed, even when you wanted to shout, just to keep up an image, just to avoid being questioned? How many projects, ideas, and visions have you buried because you were afraid someone wouldn't like them? Every time you do this, you weaken. You become smaller than you should be, less than you could be. But the truth is, most of those criticisms never even arrive. They're just in your mind. And the ones that do, they're as fleeting as a leaf in the wind. It's time to break this chain. Free yourself from the fear of judgment. Free yourself from others' expectations. The world will always have something to say, but your strength lies in your ability to ignore the noise. Your strength lies in your authenticity, in the power to be who you are, to follow what you believe, to live according to your values without asking permission, without the fear of disappointing others. It's at this moment that you free yourself from weakness, that you embrace true power. When you stop worrying about what others think, you discover that the only judgment that matters is your own. The Stoics taught us that real power comes from within. It doesn't come from what others say or think. It comes from the courage to follow your own path, to face your fears, to be true to yourself. And when you finally stop worrying about the judgment of others, you'll realize something incredible. You'll become unshakable. Because no one, absolutely no one, will have the power to bring you down. You'll be free. 4. Procrastination. Procrastination, the silent thief that robs you of the most valuable thing, time. Think about it. How many times have you said to yourself, "I'll do it later, I'll start tomorrow"? How many times have you delayed something you knew needed to be done? And in the end, what happens? Time keeps passing, but you stay still, paralyzed, as if tomorrow is a guaranteed promise, as if life can wait for your readiness. But let me tell you a truth. Tomorrow is not guaranteed for anyone. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic sages, reminds us, you don't control tomorrow, you only have today. Every time you procrastinate, you are throwing away a part of your life, as if you are willing to give up time, as if you had an eternity to recover what has been lost. But what you are delaying is not just a task or responsibility, it's your own life. When you procrastinate, you are giving up control over your future. What you need to understand is that strength, success, and the transformation you seek do not wait for the perfect moment. Strength doesn't arise from waiting, it is born from action. Now, in this very moment, procrastination is not rest. Procrastination is an invisible weight you carry, a chain that binds you to mediocrity. It makes empty promises like, you'll do it later when you're more prepared, more motivated, more rested. But what does it deliver in return? Guilt, frustration, the regret of a day you'll never get back, because tomorrow, it never arrives the way you expect. You need to understand that time is your most precious resource, and it is finite. Every second you delay is a second lost forever. And if you don't act now, if you don't take the reins of your life today, One day you'll look back and realize that it wasn't fate or circumstances that held you back. It was your own choice not to act. True strength comes from action. Not perfect action, not ideal action, but immediate action. Don't wait for the scenario to be ideal. Don't wait for the perfect motivation. Act now. Because every step you take today, no matter how small, is a step closer to your destiny. Procrastination only keeps you stuck in the same place. And every time you tell yourself, "I'll do it later," you're burying your potential a little deeper. When you make the decision to act today, not to delay, you regain control of your life. You start building the discipline, the willpower that will propel you forward, pulling you out of stagnation and setting you on the path you've always dreamed of. Every action counts. Every step strengthens you. You just need to start. 5. Escaping discomfort. Modern society sells us the illusion of constant comfort. We're bombarded all the time with promises of instant pleasure, ease, and gratification. From technology that simplifies every aspect of our lives to distractions that numb our minds. And the result? A generation conditioned to avoid anything that brings pain, challenge, or discomfort. But here's the truth no one tells you. It's precisely in discomfort that true character is forged. Have you ever noticed how every time you avoid something difficult, a small part of you feels weaker? This happens because every time you choose the easy way out, you're training your mind to avoid what truly matters: growth. Stoicism teaches us that discomfort is not an enemy. It is your greatest ally, because it's in discomfort that you find the opportunity to become better. Every challenge, every obstacle you face is a chance to evolve. True strength doesn't arise in the absence of problems, but in the ability to face them head-on. Think about this for a moment. Every time you run from discomfort, you're giving up on your own evolution. You're handing over the power that should be yours. That discomfort you avoid so much, that moment of difficulty that seems unbearable, is precisely where you are being shaped for something greater. The pain you feel now is the price of your transformation. It's the test life puts in front of you to see if you're ready for the next stage. But what do? You run. Because it's easier to choose the path of least resistance. You distract yourself. You delay. You hide. And every time you do, the discomfort doesn't disappear. It grows, becoming an even bigger burden. And what could have been overcome with strength and determination now weighs on your shoulders like a mountain. But I'm here to tell you that you can change this. Discomfort, in fact, is a tool. An opportunity to build the resilience you need to achieve whatever you desire. When you stop running, when you finally decide to face what scares you, it's at that moment that you begin to gain strength. Every time you face discomfort, you're training your mind to be stronger, more resilient, more unshakable. True strength is not found on the easy path, but on the path that few have the courage to walk. What scares you? What are you avoiding? It could be the fear of failure. It could be the fear of judgment. It could be the pain of physical effort, the emotional challenge of facing the truth about yourself. But no matter what your fear is, it only has power over you as long as you run from it. Because the moment you decide to confront it, it begins to lose its grip. It's in the confrontation with fear that you discover your true power. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics in history, said, "The soul becomes stronger through adversity." And that's exactly right. Every uncomfortable situation you face, every challenge you choose not to avoid, is one more step toward becoming someone stronger, wiser. Because discomfort teaches you. It reveals who you really are. It exposes your weaknesses, but also shows you where you need to grow. If you constantly run from what challenges you, you are failing to build resilience. You are failing to become all that you could be. But if you choose, from now on, to face every discomfort head-on, something incredible will happen. You will start to feel stronger. You will realize that the things that once scared you no longer hold the same power. Because true strength comes from the ability to remain firm in the face of adversity. That's how you grow. That's how you transform. The Stoic embraces discomfort because they know that it is there and only there that true growth happens. So I ask you, what are you avoiding? What's holding you back? Life will continue to test you. The challenges won't disappear, but the choice is yours. You can keep running, or you can decide today to become the master of your discomfort. Dominate what scares you, face what paralyzes you, because that's how strength is gained. From now on, every time you feel discomfort approaching, remember this: you're not being punished, you're being shaped. Discomfort is not the end. It is the beginning of something new, something stronger, something more powerful. And the power is in your hands. 6. The fear of judgment. How would it feel to live without the constant worry about other people's opinions, without that need to please or seek approval? It sounds liberating, doesn't it? Yet for most of us, that freedom feels distant, almost unreachable. From a young age, we are conditioned to seek the approval of others. In school, we learn that we need to fit in, to please, in order to be accepted. And this cycle never stops. We keep seeking validation from family, friends, colleagues, even complete strangers. We live to receive others' seal of approval, often at the cost of our own authenticity. Have you ever found yourself doing something you didn't really want to do, but you did it because you thought it would be well received? How many times have you stayed silent when you wanted to speak, or said something you didn't mean, just to fit into the expectations of those around you? This is the pursuit of approval. It's a poisonous cycle that slowly drains your true strength, little by little, without you even noticing. Every time you shape yourself to please someone else, you give up a piece of who you truly are. Your authenticity, that which makes you unique, starts to fade. You become a shadow of the person you should be, living a life that isn't yours, just to meet others' expectations. And the more you do this, the further you stray from yourself. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, said, "True happiness is living according to your own nature." Think about that. True happiness is not found in others' approval. It's not achieved when you get a like on social media or when someone praises your choices. It is born when you are true to yourself, when you have the courage to live according to your own values, not the values the world imposes on you. But this freedom isn't easy to attain. Living to please others is like wearing a mask. You might feel protected, accepted, but that mask is heavy. It suffocates you. It hides who you really are. And eventually, that mask starts to crack. The pressure of living a life that isn't yours becomes unbearable. And then you ask yourself, who am I really? You have two choices. Continue living to please others, always trying to mold yourself to their expectations, or free yourself. Break free from the invisible chains of seeking approval. Stop placing so much value on what others think. Because in the end, most people aren't even paying attention to you. They're too busy trying to be accepted themselves, trapped in the same poisonous cycle. When you start living according to your own nature, when you stop seeking approval and begin following your own values, something extraordinary happens. You feel lighter. Life seems simpler, clearer. Decisions become easier because now you are guided by something that is yours, not by the whims of others. You find peace. A peace that only comes when you are authentic, when you have the courage to be who you really are. But don't think that this means being arrogant or completely ignoring others' opinions. Stoicism teaches us to act with wisdom, to listen, yes, but not to let others' opinions define who we are. When you know who you are, criticism doesn't shake you because it doesn't define your value, and others' approval becomes just a distant echo because the approval that truly matters is your own. So ask yourself, are you living your life or the life others expect of you? Are you following your own dreams, or are you just trying to fit into what others want? If you continue down this path, always seeking approval, one day you'll look back and realize that life passed you by and you didn't live for yourself. But if you decide now, in this moment, that you will live your own truth, that you will free yourself from the need for approval, you will open the door to a life of true strength and fulfillment. A life where every step is taken with confidence, where you no longer need anyone's permission to be who you are. Choose to be authentic. Choose to be strong. Because true strength doesn't come from others' approval, it comes from within. It comes from the courage to be yourself. And that, my friend, is the greatest freedom you can achieve. 7. The habit of self-indulgence. The last habit, perhaps the most dangerous and seductive of all, is self-indulgence. What is self-indulgence? It's when you give in to your immediate wants and desires, seeking quick relief, instant gratification. It seems harmless, almost natural, right? After all, who doesn't want to feel good now? Who doesn't want to avoid discomfort and embrace the pleasure that's right within reach? However, that immediate feeling of pleasure is a trap. It seduces us, deceives us, making us believe we are gaining something when in fact we are losing ourselves. Every time you give in to self-indulgence, something in you weakens. Your discipline, that internal strength that keeps you on the right path, erodes little by little. And the truth is harsh, but it must be said. The more you give in to your desires, the further you move from your true potential. Think of all the times you've told yourself, just a little more. I deserve this. Just one more time, and then I'll stop. These are the voices of self-indulgence, whispering in your ear, making promises that will never be kept. Because the truth is, the more you give in, the weaker you become. The further you drift from the discipline that builds real power. And when you lose control over yourself, you lose control over your life. Stoicism teaches us something fundamental. True power is not in conquering the external world. It's in conquering yourself. And conquering yourself means, above all, having control over your desires. The Stoic knows that immediate pleasure is an illusion. That in reality, quick gratification is the shortest path to weakness. The more you seek to satisfy your desires now, the further you move from true happiness, from true strength. Think of the great warriors, the great leaders of history, the figures we admire. They didn't become strong by giving in to their urges. They didn't become powerful by seeking comfort. On the contrary, they embraced discomfort, resisted temptation, and above all, mastered their desires. That's true strength. It's not the external world we need to conquer, it's our own hearts, our own minds. But I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, I deserve a break. I deserve this little pleasure, this small indulgence. And it's true. You deserve to be happy. We all do. But what self-indulgence does is steal your real happiness. It gives you crumbs of pleasure now, while robbing you of the great feasts of fulfillment in the future. Every time you give in to an immediate desire, you're choosing a temporary satisfaction over a lasting transformation. Imagine how your life would be if, instead of giving in to every small desire, you had total control over yourself. Imagine waking up every day knowing that you are the master of your wants, that nothing controls you. Not laziness, not the desire to eat what you don't need, not the endless distractions of social media. That you can look at any temptation and say, I don't need this. I am greater than this. That is power. That is strength. Because in the end, it's not about never feeling the urge to give in. It's about not letting that urge control you. The Stoic isn't someone who never feels desire. He is someone who recognizes the desire and consciously chooses not to give in to it. That is strength. That is freedom. Because true freedom is not doing whatever you want. True freedom is having control over what you do. So, I ask you, what are you choosing? Will you continue to give in to these small pleasures that, in the end, only weaken you and keep you stuck in the same place? Or will you choose the more difficult, but infinitely more rewarding path of discipline and control? Only you can decide. The choice is in your hands. But if you choose control, if you choose discipline, if you choose to resist what weakens you, then the strength you'll find inside yourself will be unshakable. You will be unstoppable. And when the time comes to reap the rewards of your effort, you will realize that nothing in the world can give you what discipline can. Because discipline is the key to everything you wish to achieve. So stop now. Reflect. What will your choice be? Because in the end, there are only two paths. The path of self-indulgence, which feels sweet now but weakens you, or the path of discipline, which may be hard at first but transforms you into someone unshakable. Choose to be stronger than your desires. Choose to be a Stoic. If you've made it this far, it already proves something very important. You are committed to your own transformation. And that's exactly what sets you apart from so many others. Most people give up before they even start. But you are here, seeking to be stronger, more disciplined, and to take control of your life. Comment below, I have the power in my hands, to show that you watched until the end and are committed to your change. Writing this phrase is a symbol that you're ready to cut out everything that weakens you from your life. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here we don't just talk about change, we make change happen. So subscribe now. Like this video. The The stronger you become, the more you can inspire others to transform as well. You are on the right path. Now just keep going, one step at a time. Let's walk this journey together. And remember, the true strength is already inside you. See you in the next video.